Hello Dreamer, welcome back to another hotel review. Today, we are staying at the Hotel Indigo in downtown Atlanta. Let's first dive into the Indigo brand. The Indigo is a branch of the IHG company, and it's supposed to be a boutique collection of their hotels that are supposed to be in like the heart of cities and locations that you want to stay in. They're supposed to be modern and incorporate a level of design and style of wherever you are staying. They are also supposed to specialize in an intimate, dedicated level of service and make you feel like you're staying like a local. I've been staying at the Hotel Indigo here in downtown Atlanta for several days. I was here on a conference. This hotel is attached to a huge conference center in downtown Atlanta. It's also right across the street from like the Peachtree Center downtown food court, which makes it pretty convenient to get lunch whenever you're here during conferences. Now, as usual, I'm going to be rating this hotel on my 7-point comprehensive rating guide, and I'll be giving you my overall thoughts and whether I'd stay here again at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe, Dreamer, if you like this kind of video, and if you want to see more hotel stays where I stay in boutique and unique experiences all across the country and rate them for you. I like to bring you along on my staycations, and I'd love to have you here. Diving right in to our first category, the check-in experience. This can really make or break a trip. It really sets the tone, and this one did not disappoint. The valet service was outstanding. The gentleman that helped me was so nice and welcoming and helpful. They got a luggage cart right away, helped me with my bags up to my room, and he even suggested that I get a mini fridge. I'll dive into more of that a little bit later, but how would I have known that I would have got a mini fridge if he hadn't said something? I wouldn't have. So great service there. They let me check in early without an early check-in fee. That is divine. I wish that they had greeted my dog Luna just a little bit more. It's nice to have your pet welcomed too, but that's really nitpicky. And overall, I would rate the check-in experience a 5 out of 5. My second category is the cleanliness and condition of the hotel in general. This one, if I had to sum it up in one word, questionable. This one is really a hard category to rate because it does encompass such a large list of nitpicky things that I take very, very seriously. But the largest grievance on this list by far was a very gross dirty towel that was just rolled up and clean in the room whenever I checked in. Some of the other things I'd like to note about the hotel condition is the hotel elevators kind of make you feel like you're experiencing a glitch in the Matrix. Like sometimes they're like shutter closed and just stop midway for no apparent reason. Gives you a lot of confidence in their maintenance. Also, the hotel lobby furniture needs to be redone. It is quite worn in places and pretty well tattered. The second level lobby area, which is more of like a hangout space, it was pretty dirty whenever I was up there. The couches needed a good vacuuming and wipe down. The dirt that was on them definitely wasn't from that day. It was many weeks or months old. The room I found pretty clean. The only other problem I found in it was that the handles are a little loose in the shower, making it hard to adjust the temperature. But that can happen at a lot of hotels, so that's not one of the things that's going to be something that's going to make or break an experience. Because of the few factors that I mentioned and my overall feelings about it, I'm going to give this hotel a 3 out of 5 in cleanliness and condition. Not too bad, but I think that they could do better in some areas. Moving on to amenities. This is a pretty short list. It is attached to the conference center, huge plus. It has a fitness center, also huge plus. It is pretty small though. They have valet, but they don't have room service. They have an on-site restaurant, but it's only open for breakfast and dinner. They also have meeting rooms and coffee machines in the rooms with K-cups. There's a few things that I think are missing from this category. Number one is a pool. A lot of conference center hotels have pools. It's pretty common, and the fact that this one doesn't, I think hurts its amenity list just a little bit. Also, the amenities in the bathroom are the large jugs instead of the little mini bottles. Not a make or break, but just something to kind of note in the category. I do think they smell really nice and they are decent value. I did get a mini fridge, but I don't know how to rate that in this category. If I hadn't tipped the valet and he hadn't told me that I could get a mini fridge delivered to my room for free, I don't think I would have known. I didn't read it on the hotel website anywhere. The people at the check-in desk didn't mention it to me, and I can't really include that as an amenity here because it's not standard in the guest rooms. And it missing a mini fridge, it being a conference hotel, is a huge minus in my opinion. I also feel like it being a conference hotel, the sitting areas and the common areas need to have more furniture designed for conversation. They're really far apart. There's not a whole lot of places for like large groups to hang out and mingle. The hotel in general just didn't feel too welcoming to me. Even though I do have those minor grievances with it, I gave it a 4 out of 5 because in general, and due to the price point that I'll mention later, I think the amenity list is okay. It would have got a 5 out of 5 from me if it had a mini fridge standard in each room, and maybe a pool would have really put it over the top. My next category is staff. And I'll go ahead and tell you that I gave it a 4 out of 5, and I really wish I could have given it a 5 out of 5 based on my check-in experience and how amazing the valet team has been my entire stay. They are fast, they're efficient, they open the door for you whenever they are available, they are very welcoming, and they greet you whenever you leave and enter. Really everything you could ever ask for valet and front of desk staff. Although I will mention that I was looking to break a $50 bill yesterday morning and they wouldn't do that for me at the front desk. And it really seemed like she just didn't want to. It didn't seem like she couldn't because she hesitated for a long time. She didn't look in her drawer. She just kind of stared off into space and was like, do I want to help this lady out? I'm pretty sure she could have helped me and she just didn't want to. So minor minus point there, but what really set this category to a 4 is the restaurant staff. I've had a drink at the bar one afternoon. It was okay, not that great, but the morning staff that I dealt with for breakfast was horrific. They were so rude, not to just me, but to all the tables around them. I seen numerous occurrences where the waiter was very rude to some other ladies dining, just speaking to them in a pretty condescending way, and I don't appreciate that at all, and I don't think they did either. And so that takes this rating down to a 4 out of 5. Still not bad though. Special shout out to the valet staff. You guys rock. Moving on to the food category. Here it goes way downhill. Spoiler alert. I already mentioned in the previous category how bad the staff was at breakfast. The bar staff, whenever I had a drink, wasn't much better. Also, my drink was pretty mediocre, and so was the breakfast food. Definitely nothing to write home about. There's also no lunch options on site, except for a small grab and go little kiosk. And when I say small, I mean very, very small. Not even sandwiches and wraps, more like candy bars and chips. and a few drinks. Definitely not full service lunch, quick grab service that you would find in a lot of hotels. There's also no room service here, as I mentioned earlier. Because of all that, I rated the food a 2 out of 5, and I think the hotel should be lucky that I rated it that high. I kind of think they deserve a 1 out of 5, but they do serve breakfast and dinner, and that's something, I suppose. If I'm going to add a positive note to the food category, I will say that the bar is well designed. It's in a nice circular format that makes it nice to mingle if you're coming back from conferences. In our second to last category, I like to talk about the room overall. This room actually exceeded expectations. It's large for a downtown hotel and it's moderately well lit. There's large windows. My view overlooks a parking garage, but they're actually getting ready to film a movie on the roof next door, so, you know, happy accident. And I think the bathroom's okay lit. I wouldn't give it like an exceptionally well lit rating, but I do think it is pretty decently lit. There's also nice storage in the room. I like that there are hardwood floors and a nice little carpeted area around the bed, so you don't have to step out on cold tile in the morning. Nice touch. There's also reading lights by the bed. That's a great touch. Everybody gets their own and they're individually switched, so you can turn them on and off yourself. The beds here were also very comfortable. You guys know, if you've watched any of my videos, I am so picky on beds. The pillows were good, and they were soft but not too soft, and the bed had good support without being rock hard. The beds were great, especially for the price point. I really think the beds shot the rating of this category into the next level. Also, being a conference hotel, I feel like it's important that it has a good work setup. It has a desk chair, it has a pretty large desk area to work at, and it has a sofa. Those are all great additions to a room. I like to see it. The sofa is pretty comfortable. I'm sitting on it now. It's pretty good, and there was more than enough storage for all of the clothes. It also has like a nice glass piece of art in the corner with its own lighting. Makes the room feel just a little bit special. Because of all those pluses, I give the room a 5 out of 5, and I think it deserves it. Now let's talk about value for our last category. Everybody usually waits for this one because everyone wants to know what I spent, because that really puts everything in perspective. I spent on average $220 a night to stay here. There is an additional $55 a night to park a car here. That's for the valet. There's no self-parking. Although you could go around the corner and park your car. It is downtown Atlanta. There's parking garages. Personally, I wouldn't do that in Atlanta. I would always valet so you know your car is secured. But you do you. This is also a secure building that you have to use your room card to access. That's nice. Atlanta is not one of those cities that I feel particularly safe in traveling alone, so it's nice to come back and feel secure in where I'm staying. This hotel is pet friendly. The pet fee is $75 a night, which is outrageous because my dog doesn't do any bit of damage. She is a complete delight, but they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do, and so I'll bring my dog along and pay the fee just to have her with me. It's cheaper than kindling her anyway. Because of those things and my general thoughts about it, I think I'm gonna give the value rating a 4 out of 5. I don't think it deserves a 5 because it doesn't have a pool. The valet doesn't really factor in to the value rating just because all downtown valets are $55 a night. So you're not doing any better, but at least this one's not worse. It's fine. And a 4 out of 5 value rating is pretty good. It's just not perfect, and that's where that rating reflects. Now let's talk my overall thoughts on the hotel. If you sum up all of the previous ratings, then that's going to give you a final score of 27 out of 30. So a C. That pretty well sums up my feelings about this hotel. Not bad, not great. It's just eh. It just doesn't feel special to me. It's fine. If I had a conference in downtown Atlanta, I would consider staying here. I think it's a nice, well-rounded place that is nicely situated. It just doesn't give a wow factor to me. But perhaps that's reflected in the pretty low price point. For a downtown hotel, around $200 is pretty good. Especially if you don't have to park a car here, then this place is a great value. That was not a conference rate that I quoted you. That was full-blown retail. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've stayed in a Hotel Indigo, have you stayed here at the downtown Atlanta Indigo? I'd especially love to hear your thoughts on that. I'll be back shortly with another hotel stay. Thanks for joining me, Dreamer. Until next time, bye.